Alright, so Xbox 360 version of Zoo Tycoon, but I'm playing it on Xbox One S. Here's kind of like a bird's eye view of what everything looks like. Alright, so obviously you can see here is the zoo entrance to, Zoo Tycoon that I am playing right now. Now we will go into, third person or whatever. And if you look over here, we have kind of like go-karts or like not go-karts. What am I thinking of? Kind of like golf cart type of things that help you help with transportation around the zoo if you need to get to places. So right here we have Zookeeping Center 1 and another building that connects right to it, which is also Zookeeping Center 1. And over here we have the Breeding Center 1. Now, we shall look at some scenery and some, animal exhibits that we have in our zoo here. Right now we have here a lake. I don't know if people are allowed to walk on the deck, but that's, a piece of scenery. Over here we have arguably the most basic animal you can have in a zoo, and that is giraffes. I'm joking. There's their shower. Um, if you go around, we have kind of like a feeding station where you can feed the giraffes. Now you just call them over, and then with whatever button you have, either on a keyboard or a controller, pick up the banana, and then, feed the giraffe. Now if you go around the exhibit, you can obviously see that we have enrichment and kind of like toys for the giraffes to play with. Now we get out of first person and we go over to their food. This is what they eat out of. They eat out of kind of like these tall structures, and you've seen it in Shine Mountain Zoo, so I don't need to explain it. Now if you go over here, we have a shelter for the giraffes, so they can like a kind of like a hiding sleeping spot, so they can hide away from viewers if they get anxious or stressed or whatever or tired. Alright, now right here, this exhibit, we have the lions. They have obviously, food. You gotta feed the animals. They have a shower, just like the giraffe exhibit. Every single exhibit is gonna have that. If you go over here, then you can see that the lions have a scratching post. Yep, one's on it right now. Alright, now we will go into Zoo View and we will head to kind of like a smaller exhibit, like two smaller exhibits. We have peacocks here and kind of a smaller exhibit. There are food stations in those little pockets right there. Right here we have, oh my gosh, it keeps going. We have water snakes. I can't necessarily remember what species this is, but they also have food pockets, as you can see right here. We already looked at that. Oh, right here we have kind of a peacock statue, kind of like an attraction to make the park look more appealing to people. And we will go over here with the kangaroos. This is the kangaroo exhibit. Obviously we have a food station, like you just saw. Different scenery structures. This is going really fast. Oh my god. We go into third person. We kind of have like enrichment and toys for the kangaroos to play with. More scenery. We have this giant giraffe leaf statue that is a very cool attraction to make the park more appealing. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, now we have flamingos in kind of like a mini exhibit with obviously two food pouches, as you can see here. Right here, we move on to capybaras. Capybaras in a small exhibit with a bunch of butterflies around. I'd say arguably the most peaceful animal on the planet. Alright, so we click over here, and what do we have? Oh, we already looked at the flamingo. Alright, so we go over here to kind of like the alligator exhibit, crocodile. Oh gosh, I can't remember what type of species this is. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to research that later. Over here we have another lake scenery, kind of attraction with a bridge. Now, I'm not sure if NPCs are allowed to cross this bridge, but, it's there to look at. Right here we have the Asian elephant exhibit, obviously with a shower. If you go around, obviously you can see that we have elephants. There's an elephant, big elephant. We have their feeding stations, kind of like the giraffes, where they're tall, standing up, tall towers. We have a food bowl, like more food, just a lot of food. Obviously more food, we have leaves right there, just a lot of food. And if you go around here, I just teleported, the elephants have a drinking source where they can drink water and, like splash everywhere. And if you go over here, we have another drinking station. We have two drinking stations for the elephants to, play in the water, drink the water, and, splash it around. And obviously a shelter. Now if we go over here, we have the chimpanzees. The chimpanzees have this, playing toy that they can climb on and, just play around on. If we go over here, we kind of have this glass window to where if you click a certain button on your controller or keyboard, you can interact with the chimpanzee. Um, Kind of like over here, just like the giraffes and elephants, they have tall feeding towers. I'm not sure why. Over here we have food bowls, just more fruits, a lot of fruits. They love fruits. I mean, obviously they're monkeys. And if you go around here, just like every other exhibit, they have a shower that they can shower in. um, I think they have a shelter. Let me see. I don't know, but yeah, those are the chimpanzees. If you go over here, right next to the Asian elephant exhibit, we have an elephant statue, another statue to kind of appeal the park to people that are coming in. Now right here we have the janitor's office, and obviously we gotta keep the zoo as clean as we possibly can. Right over here we have burgers because obviously you gotta have food in the park or else people are gonna starve. So there's the burger station. If you go over here, we have another scenery attraction, kind of like aquatic, with a bunch of sea turtles in it, and it's pretty cool. Something for people to like play and hang out in. We have over here a what is it? I can't remember. Kind of like a mini attraction to where you can watch people talk about animals they're holding, and I can't remember what they're called, but we've seen those before. Right here we have the restrooms. One of the most important things you need to have in a zoo. Obviously, you gotta have restrooms. Now right here we have a lion mascot. I don't know why I'm zooming in so far. He's doing his thing, he's entertaining. And this is actually the last thing, and it's not entertaining at all. And right here we have a milkshake, soda, and water station. Kind of like a drink station because, people obviously need stuff to drink. And we're done. Alright, thank you to everyone that watched my Zoo Tycoon, zoo tour. Subscribe to my channel because this will be posted on YouTube. Alright, goodbye. Oh yeah, here's a video of my dog.